Welcome to Cat Unmuted. I would like to share something that's been heavy for me in the last, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months, probably about 2 months now. Um, and that is the decision that I have to make to let Maya go. Again, it's been heavy. I've cried about it, and it has not been easy to make that decision. But I know that it is the right decision to do this. And yeah, like I've been going back and forth on this for a while, like the when I first started thinking about it. And before that, like it was in the back of my head, but I never really looked at it. But somehow something Josh said, I can't remember what he said, but it made me think about it for real and really pay attention to that thought. And I knew in my heart it's going to be the right thing to do, but it's also something that hurts to even think about or even talk about. And but here I am talking about it. Again, I've cried about this so many times already, and I'm getting to a point where um uh no, that's not true. It depending on the day, my mood, sometimes I'll cry harder and other days it's just a tear. And right now somehow I'm able to talk about it without shedding a tear. So, um that's good for the podcast anyway. So, Maya, she is probably the smartest dog I have ever had. My previous dog, Harley, which Maya got to live with for about a year before Harley passed, Harley was a husky and lab mix. She was a very big dog that was looked completely like a husky and had the husky hair and all of that, but in a lab size. So she was a big dog. I thought she was the smartest dog I had ever had, but I really do think Maya tops it all. Maya's a mix of German Shepherd and Husky. She took the female Husky size, but looks exactly like a German Shepherd. Um, so yeah, she's smart. She's definitely wild and very loyal too. She is so bonded to me. She has um, there are a lot of things that she doesn't try, like jumping the fence, because a lot of dogs learn that without even, Harley was like that too, actually. She has watched Peanut, our other dog that passed in 2017, escape, but she's never really escaped herself. If she does escape, it's because Peanut is out there and she was very protective of him and shows so she would follow if she can leave with him. But for the most part, like she stayed, and Maya is that way. Since she's the only dog, there's no other dogs to follow out. So anyway, like she's very loyal. And I said wild, right? Like she's extremely energetic, like wildly energetic. Loves chasing rabbits. And because of her husky side, she's not exactly eager to please, but she kind of is eager to please as well. Like she loves training. Whenever I get the training treats out, she knows training is about to happen. I think she just likes the attention. But she's not 100% eager to please, because when it comes to me implementing what I taught her, like yeah, she doesn't exactly go 100%. But when I take her out, though, she does. Like um, I have trained her to walk beside me out in like we practice at a Lowe's, and sh like we don't go that often, but every time we do go, she knows what she needs to be doing. She did let go of some of the training a little bit because it wasn't as often as it should be, but the main problem though with Maya is other dogs. Like she wants to play so much, she gets so excited whenever there are other dogs around. And yeah, so that's the only issue with her is when there are other dogs. I literally have to go down a different aisle just to avoid the the dogs. Um, yeah, but she is beautiful and like she really is a pretty dog and somehow kept her physique. She's 4 years old now and she hasn't gained weight. Like she may have gained maybe 2 pounds since she's been fully grown. She was like 49, I think, 48, 49, and now she's like 50, 51 pounds now. So anyway, um this has been hard, this um decision because, well, I don't think I really need to explain to you why this is so hard for me. We've had her since she was like 2 months old. And yeah, because she was born in April and we got her in June. And oh my gosh, she was so tiny. And we've had her, like, I basically had her since puppyhood. And, um, and the bond that we had formed, right? Like, she's mine. And and my responsibility, right? Like she came into my house. I took care of her, fed her, still do, and make it a point to take her out on walks and rides and you know. So all the time and bonding that I have spent with her is going to end. And that makes me sad. But not only that, but like she's my dog and I'm literally giving her up. Like there's a part of me that feels like I have failed her, but I also have to think about my needs, my family's needs, and some of you might think that moving to Okinawa is not necessary at that point. Why don't you just fucking stay, right? But you can't let some things get in the way of what you know is the right move for you. As much as I don't want to say that and say that because that makes it sound like Maya's going to be baggage and an inconvenience, but I don't want her to be, and she's not. It's just a decision I have to make, and also recognize that everything we're about to go through is not going to be right for Maya. It's right for us, but not for Maya. And I have to recognize that. And I would love nothing more than give my dog a fair chance at having a uh, a a fair chance at life. My headphones, it just died, but I'm gonna keep it on because I need that to not get distracted from the outside sounds. Anyway, um, uh, you know what I mean, right? Like there are some things that have to happen, and there you have no control over that. So either you think of it in a way that's going to be selfish. I can take Maya and make her go through all the things when it's not fair to her, but will make me happy. Or I can think about her quality of life and say, leaving her will be the right move. So, with that said, this is like the reality of me going to uh, to Japan, right? For her, what the reality would look like is Maya's gonna have to fly, and I don't think I can handle uh, flying her very well because I'm just gonna be so worried about her, right? So we'll move, or um, because I don't want to worry about her, the plan was to hire a pet traveler, um, which we'd have to hand the dog over to the pet handler or the pet traveler, and they will book all the flights, all the things that needs to be done, and fly her with her and all the way to Okinawa. So this pet traveler is the one that's gonna handle taking Maya out to relieve herself if she needs to in between flights, stuff like that. So the fact that she's gonna be traveling with, like traveling alone is gonna be horrid, right? Like the flights, because I mean understanding where she's going to be at. It's not going to be fun for her. It's going to be very stressful. And I'm not going to be right there beside her. Even more stressful. In confined space that she's not used to being in. Very stressful. And then on top of that, she's going to be with some stranger that's like traveling with her. Again, stressful. I'm nowhere around. Um, Landing, she's going to have to adjust to a new environment because we're not going back home. She's gonna have to adjust to a new home environment because houses are smaller and yards, if we even luck out and get a yard, it's not going to be big enough for her to do what she loves doing, which is having her zoomies every once in a while. And then on top of that, because we have to be there with a focus to start this business, we may not have the time to actually spend time with her, which is going to be added stress because she's going to be stuck at the house all day. And then, what else? Oh, and the fact that um, Okinawa is like the place that we want to make it happen, but it might not be the place that's gonna happen. Like, we're going on a tourist visa and trying to figure things out within the 90 days. We will leave and come back and do another 90 days, but hopefully that second time around is the time that we actually set things up to get a business going. So, with that said, like, again, we're not going to have time with her, and um like, we're going to be so busy, like, yeah. So, I mean, busy, yes, we already covered that. We might not have all the time in the world for her like we do now. And we might have to fly her out again, because if Okinawa doesn't work, we might go to Taiwan, we might go to Thailand or the Philippines. We have three other options. Um, Mostly because Taiwan, that's where my family is at, my mom's side of the family, right? And then Thailand and the Philippines have basically they have a very nice setup for veterans. All the medical benefits, or the VA facilities. There's an actual VA facility, medical facility in the Philippines. And there in Thailand, there isn't necessarily a VA medical facility, but it's VA affiliated. So those two countries are totally set up for veterans. And so that's why those two places, and also those two places are tropical, which is what we're looking for, right? Um, uh, yeah, so if Okinawa doesn't work, we might have to go somewhere else. And at that point, how are we going to fly her out? Because, like, the amount of things that we had to do to get her ready for that, for flight to Japan. Like, we've already spent a lot of money on it for labs. That alone cost over $600. So, not saying that, like, I don't want that stress. What I'm saying is she is going to be stressed. She's not going to be able to handle all this, and all of this will be happening in 1 year. If we have to leave Okinawa, that would probably happen within that year. So at that point, it's not fair to Maya to put her in such stress. What's right, what's going to be right for Maya is for her to stay here, hopefully with somebody who will care for her just as much as we did. Um, so, um, yeah, it's there's too much uncertainty, right, for a dog, Maya, to go with us. If she was a smaller dog, it would be so much easier. But like it wouldn't have been a even a thought. But she's a medium-sized dog with a lot of energy that needs outside space and time from us. So, and not, yeah, I don't think I need to explain anymore. The next topic, what is this? I'm reading off my little list of things on my phone. What Maya needs. Like, I just explained the reality of her life. And what she needs right now is not where I want her to be, but where she can thrive. And the only reason I'm able to look at things that way is because of my love for her. If I didn't love her enough to want her to have this quality of life, I wouldn't have questioned it. But I want her to have the life she deserves. And I think a lot of people do mistake what love looks like. Love doesn't always look like holding on to that person or pet because you can't leave them. You might say stuff like, I can't leave them because we're bonded, or I'm her safety space, or whatever. Because I can say the same thing about Maya. I am her safety space. I'm her person. I'm her human. We're bonded. But if I can't see that this is going to be more hurtful than anything else long term, not just like a couple of months. Because if it was just a couple of months, who cares? But I don't know when we're going to settle, you know? So sometimes love looks like letting something go and letting life happen as opposed to holding on. Maya needs more than I can offer from now on. And I have to recognize that. And I am. It's hard, but it's the right decision. You know, I've had this conversation with a couple of friends, and, you know, what I'm doing right now is letting her go. Even though she's not dying, this is still a grieving situation for me. Like I said, I've already cried about this so many times. Every time I talked about it with a friend, and honestly, the person that I wanted to talk to the most, and I was hoping she and her husband would be able to take Maya in, but they can't. But we we went to a local cafe and talked about it in the very back of the cafe so that we can have a little bit of a privacy. But we were two hot messes because she had just lost a dog. And in a sense, I'm about to lose a dog. Like I was grieving just as much as she was with a dog that passed. It's just as hard. And she mentioned this, but a lot of my other friends also mentioned this, where what I'm going through is probably even harder because Maya's not passing. I'm literally giving her up for her well being, but it's the right choice. So, the friend that I talked to, the whole main reason I talked to her is because not only did she just lose a dog, so she didn't really exactly have like, I mean, I felt like she had extra space, right? But she and her husband are getting to a point in their lives where they want less responsibility, which I understand. But I asked them because they are active people. Like she goes on bike rides and like she goes out and does stuff, and her husband hunts. And the dog that they just lost was a bloodhound, and they actually trained it to trace blood. Not saying that they're gonna train Maya to do something like that, but if they do, I think she'd be perfect at it. One of her favorite things is um, running after rabbits, like all because the rabbits are so fast and she loves chasing them. I don't know if she knows what to do with them once she gets to face with them if they stopped, but the point is she has a lot of energy, and if it's something she loves, I think she'd be able to learn so quick. And in order to for his hunting trips, he's got horses. He goes horseback riding all the time. They have land, like so much space for Maya to and Maya's gone to their house so many times already and she loves going there. And that's what I hope for her, right? Big space to run around in whenever she wants to, not just a little backyard of mine. The whole reason I have to walk her every morning. Um, and whenever I walk her off leash too because she has to go. I'm not doing it on leash. But that's one of the reasons we like where we live because just on the other side of this neighborhood, there's a big land of nothing. It's just dirt roads, shrubs, cactus, you know. And yeah, so have like knowing that she'd be in a place with a backyard like that with horses and the opportune possibilities of just going places, adventures, and exploring because that's what she loves doing. Like that's what I hope for her. And the hope for me is for the new owners, whoever they might be, to be okay with staying in contact with me for a little bit, maybe a year or something like that. I don't want to torture myself by staying in contact with them, but just staying in contact long enough to know that she's adjusting well. I think I owe her that much. So, as hard as this was, This is the first time I've had to do something like this. And like, I've had so many pets in the past pass away. So obviously, not new to death. I've known death since I was in, God, how old was I? Early in elementary school. My first dog passed away when I was like second grade, maybe early. I can't remember. I was, um, give or take, about 7 years old. Anyway, but this is a whole different ball game. Giving up an animal that you absolutely love with all of your heart, and all you want is the best for them. Because I know that if I take her with me, it's going to be about me and not about her. So, my point with that is, it's like I'm going through something and have to learn it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a hard lesson to learn. To do something that's right as opposed to do something that seems more normal in a sense, by taking her with me and letting her suffer, letting her suffer through the things that is right for me and not right for her. Recognizing all that and pulling the trigger on, okay, this life is not right for her. So I need to make plans for her that has nothing to do with mine. And learning that love is more than keeping that person around, or that animal, my dog, around. It's more than that. It's love with care, right? With love with intention, so to speak. Like, I want a good life for her. And that is the point. I want her to have a quality, lively, vigorous life. There's no way to make this painless. And I know that I'm making the right decision. And there's, again, no way. There's nothing I can say or do or decide or pull the trigger on that's going to make this pain less bearable or make the pain less in general. But I know I'm doing this and making these decisions with honesty, not just for myself, but for Maya. And like I said, this is basically love equaling choosing what is best for her. And the only thing I can do is to be brave for it. I know she'll have a better life. Not with me. And I know she'll thrive with somebody else still. I'm only sharing this because I know there's a lot of people who struggle making this kind of decision, like I was doing months ago, where it was in the back of my head, but I didn't let myself acknowledge it because I didn't want it to be true. But if you really care about that person or that pet, this is the right decision, and you're not doing it because it's inconvenient for you, or you're not deciding not to because of your selfishness. Letting our selfishness go and proceeding towards the truth of the fact that this is the best decision you can make, the best decision I can make for Maya and for her life to be full and vigorous. If you ever have to come to this kind of decision, I hope this video will help you. This doesn't mean that you're failing them. It feels like it, but you're not. It's the right decision, and you know it in your heart if you're crying about it like I am right now. All right. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.